departments, and the department has to be taken to task as far as this matter is concerned. How are you addressing and what are your plans to address the matter?
Thank you so much. The issue of the job evaluation is regulated, is within the public service regulations. And in terms of the public service regulations and various directives from the Department of Public Service and Administration, indeed, government as a whole, you still have posts on SARAT level 9, 10, 11, and 12. Secondly, you still have got OSDs, which are applicable to entire public service. And just to share with the colleagues at the stage, part of the OSD was to ensure that we've got consistency across the public service. The same appliance in terms of the job evaluation coordination was to ensure that if you've got an ASD with the same functions, they should have the same kind of of remunerations. We are fully aware as HR that in some other departments, there were efforts to move from SARAT level 9 and 11. But we also know that there are efforts to ensure that we retain SARAT level 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I'm saying it's a continuous process that posts that are not covered by the OSDs, they will continuously be subjected to job evaluation process. With a full understanding, once again, that those covered by the OSDs will not be subjected to job evaluation process. Thank you.
Okay, the next one is in the ICT space. Please explain how unethical conduct, criminal official nexus, prison breakouts, alternative sentence options have to do with IT, unless IT solutions are being considered to these problems. If so, how? Can we get the microphone there? Must I come there?
Who's the next speaker?
Must I read it again? Please explain how unethical conduct, criminal official nexus, prison breakouts, alternative sentence options have to do with IT, unless IT solutions are being considered to these problems.
I think what we looked at, we're saying that those are the issues that came out from our workshops. And with those issues, we needed to look at what are the technologies that we can implement to prevent those contextual issues that came out. So hence we put it there as part of the process. But the criminal nexus, obviously when you have intelligence technology that can see or forecast around what are the activities that are performed, maybe through the telephone calls they are making, through the interception of the cell phones that they are utilizing, then we can do an intelligent analysis and be able to prevent some of the things, the escapes that might be planned or things like that. That's what we meant on that. Thank you.
I think just to add, the scanner issue is a nice example of how organizational issues have foiled the adoption of technology. Did you hear that? The scanner issue is a nice example of how organizational issues have foiled the adoption of technology. So just to finish that question. Then HR question, under contextual issues you indicated budget cuts and shortage of staff. Please clarify, is that not a contradiction? Yes, it is. The minister in his presentation indicated that DCS must be an employer of choice. Do you regard DCS as an employer of choice at this stage, and what HRM is doing to address the minister's concerns? I believe this is not only an HR issue, but it's also a communications issue.
I'm going to take that one. The first one, we'll take the second one. Is it me? I'm on the floor.
It's
It's
in my
HR.
estimation, this is both a HR and a communications issue.
I quickly want to talk to the slide under contextual issues. Yes, as HR, we're acknowledging that we put both shortage of staff as well as budget constraints. There's two levels of issues that we are talking to here. In general, there's a shortage of staff, which we were acknowledging. But we are saying the situation will be even worse now after having notified about the COE budget cut. Hence, they were put within the context of that state. So we are saying there's no contradiction. Generally, before the announcement of the budget cut, as a collective, we have been complaining or saying that we don't have enough resources. So we're acknowledging that. After that, the cut has been effected. We are saying we are going to have more problems. Thank you.
Okay, the employer of choice issue.
Yeah. What the department needs to do, what we intend doing, is to change the environment to an extent that the image that people or perception that they have about the DCS is erased, because it's more negative than it's not doing the department any good. We want to professionalize the department, as you will have heard. One of our intentions to do is to facilitate the professionalization of the department. Of course, through OSD, it was one of the vehicles of trying to ring-fence DCS as the department of its own, to have its own dispensation, such that it also can attract. But the issue now, that we need to look into, is the issue of environment, which we definitely, through the policies and procedures as well as strategies, we will, of course, facilitate it to be the employer of choice.
Okay. Okay, is there a succession plan around SMS members going out of the system on retirement? Succession plans on that level?
No, it's not.
Any specific reason why not?
No, one of the strategies, one of the retention strategies, succession planning is one of the strategies that we want to develop, so that when they go out, we already have prepared a pool, not individual. We would have prepared a pool to be ready to take over. The issue is about creating a pool of those who are potential to take over whenever the higher position is left. So there is, we are having, within our integrated strategy, we will be addressing that.
The issue of physical training by the minister, any plans to deal with that? Physical training. Yes, please, DC.
I'm highly paid. I can't. Yeah.
Good afternoon again, colleagues. Is that physical training is not sustained when the learners go to the management areas. So it needs to continue to be part of the program when the learners go to the management areas, but at the colleges, they certainly have physical training as part of the curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next question, it's an IT question. So I'm going to paraphrase it a little bit. Is the department planning on developing integrated systems rather than multiple systems that sometimes do not talk to each other? Can we have a mic there, please, at the... You're going to... Right, okay,
Yeah.
good.
The answer to that question is an absolute yes.
Prison. That apparently DCS will be taking over in 5 years. Will Gito, with the current network, be able to take this over and the systems that are being used there? Okay, I think that's that person.
Again, yes, Triple P is not working independently. The systems that are being used at those Triple P facilities, they actually follow exactly the same policies that we have here. So there's no problem in taking
Okay.
over. As a matter of fact, we might actually be replacing
Okay.
with
Next
our own
question.
systems. Yes.
For you, sir. Can Gito give indicate dates for the rollout of IMS in all regions? Can Gito please indicate dates for the rollout of IMS in all regions?
Okay. We do have a rollout schedule of IMS up to the 31st of March 2021. At the moment, we have already, since August to date, we have rolled out, I think it's an extra 4 sites. This week we are rolling out at Heidelberg. It's completely done now. Last week it was Mode Bay. Before then it was Boxbeck, 2 sites in Boxbeck. Next week we'll be looking at Nigel again and Krugerstop. So that's going to be in the process of the next 2 weeks. And then beginning of December, we're also going to be doing Barberton and Nelspruit. That's what I'm looking for. Then in January, we are looking at Klerksdorp and Potchefstroom. And then we move to Durban. I think we're going to start with Durban juveniles. And then beginning of February, that will be Durban female. And then we do Durban medium A, I think. Towards the end of February, we'll be doing Peter Maritzburg. I think that should take us into Paulsmoor by the end of February then. I think probably going to start with Paulsmoor female. So at the beginning of March, there are 3 sites in Paulsmoor. So be doing Paulsmoor, medium A, maximum, I don't know about all those sites in Paulsmoor. And we'll do Goodwood, and then we'll end with Grootvlei in end of March in Free State.
So there is a set of dates and a plan. There's some other technical questions here for ICT, but I'm going to leave those for, I'm going to allow those to be answered offline in the interest of time. They're a bit more technical, and I don't think they're of strategic importance. Who in DCS should assess officials with underlying comorbidities as to whether they're fit to come to work or not? Health question. Somebody from health?
According to HR Directive 7, the person applying to work from home in terms of having comorbidities must bring a must complete a form and submit a doctor's report. That doctor's report must then go to the delegated authority. The delegated authority is either the CDCs or the RCs. But the delegated authority looks at that in conjunction with a nurse. I know HR Directive 7 says a primary healthcare nurse, but it's actually just supposed to be those nurses that have been appointed for COVID-19. The nurse is not supposed to override the opinion of the doctor, but there are certain technical terms that are medical related that the delegated authority may not understand or just need clarity on. So that is why we have said at least the nurse must be there to give advice, to say, you know, what these medical terms are, so that the delegated authority can make a decision. But it's certainly not to override the opinion of the doctor. It's just to clarify the opinion of the doctor.
Okay, thank you. There's a question here about the department and when it will implement the shift system and other related matters. Okay.
Yeah, the shift system, we already have got a mandate to engage organized labor on the preferred shift system. So the process is already being registered in the bargaining chamber so that we can have the engagement rolling. As soon as it's the matter of having to win labor into our side so that we can implement. As soon as the engagements are done, then there will be implementations. Of course, there are a number of issues that they have raised, but there is a way that we are seeing we can go around. It's just a matter of having to convince the organized labor so that we can implement. Hence, I'm saying, no, we've got the mandate to engage. We've got the preferred shift system that we can implement, which is already in the bargaining chamber as we are speaking.
Okay, thank you. Are there any final questions from the floor that people would like to have answered? I think we need to wrap up now. Okay. CDC, you wanted to say a few words in closing. Okay. Okay. I think it's been a long day and the power has certainly tested us. So I'd like to thank you all for your participation. We continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we will try and craft and synthesize a plan to deal with all of the issues that we've heard about today. So we'll see you tomorrow bright and early. Please drive safely. And remember to wait for the commissioner to leave before you exit. Thank you very much.